Am I the a-hole for how I responded when my husband told his brother he's lucky his wife is mute? My sister-in-law, husband's brother's significant other, is mute. She's been happily married to my brother-in-law for 1 year, and I have been blank married to my husband for 5 years. We were invited to mother-in-law's house for dinner days ago. I gotta say, it was the weekend. I was too tired from working, looking after the kids, the chores, etc., etc., etc. But my husband insists on me being part of these weekly dinner gatherings. Brother-in-law came and brought sister-in-law with him. We all sat at dinner and discussed many topics, and then, sister-in-law started using sign language with brother-in-law. My husband was smirking for some reason, then waited till they stopped, then turned to his brother and said, "Man, you're lucky your wife is mute. Your house must be so peaceful and quiet all the time, right? This is a blessing." He said this while locking eyes with me. Sister-in-law was stunned. They all stared at me awkwardly. Like I knew he meant to say that I was loud and noisy at home, which is not true at all. I decided to pitch in and reply with, "Yeah, well, she's lucky for not having a button-pushing jerk barking demands at her all day long and gaming, while she's juggling everything from childcare to household chores to work all by herself." Silence. He figured I was referring back to him, which I was, and his face went from normal to red to pale, etc., etc., etc. He excused himself to the bathroom, then later things were really awkward. We got in the car and he lost it on me completely. He said I disrespected, bad-mouthed, and demeaned him in front of his family. I pointed out how he was indirectly insulting me with the "your lucky wife's mute" remark, but he called me petty and said that I took it personally and acted insensitively and rudely towards him. We got home and he went radio silent and has basically been sulking about what happened till this very hour. Am I the a-hole for my response to him? Not the a-hole. That was a nasty remark he made. To you, to your sister-in-law, and to your brother-in-law. If he doesn't want to get called out when he's being a rude ableist a-hole, then he shouldn't act like one. Have you had a nice quiet week with the silent treatment? Have you had a nice quiet week with the silent treatment? Oh my god, that line totally cracked me up. Thanks for brightening up my day. He said I disrespected, bad-mouthed, and demeaned him in front of his family. Which is exactly what he had done to you. If he can't take it, he shouldn't dish it out. Not the a-hole. Not only his own wife but his brother's wife too. I would have been horrified to be used to insult someone else, and being insulted myself in the same breath. I was actually more appalled for the sister-in-law than OP, because at least OP is able to speak up for herself and did so. But their sister-in-law literally can't speak up for herself. She can sign her reaction, but let's be honest, OP's husband doesn't care and definitely doesn't know sign language. He obviously thinks if he can't heed it, it doesn't count. Fucking ableist thinking. There are several non-verbal gestures that would suit the occasion. Not the a-hole. Why are you married to this ass? You're the a-hole to yourself. This 1,000,000 times over. Why be tied to a person who demeans you and thinks it's funny, gets mad when you stand up for yourself, and then tries to punish you? I wonder if OP looks back, if this is isolated behavior. Her mentioning that he makes her come to these gatherings knowing how exhausted she is and how uninvolved he is, gaming and being otherwise unhelpful while she's taking care of the household and kids, she'll find that unloading him as a husband would be most peaceful indeed. Not the a-hole. So it's okay for him to disrespect you in front of his family? Does he even like you? Doesn't sound like it. I will never understand guys like that who loves going around complaining about how awful their wives are, including in front of the wife herself. If you hate her so much, why don't you just leave? It's not like someone's holding a gun to your head. But guys like this also always act so surprised when the wife leaves them, as if their behavior had nothing to do with it. Not the a-hole. What a nasty thing of him to say, not just about you but also your sister-in-law. Only being able to communicate through ASL is not a blessing of any kind, and he should take a vow of silence to see how blessed it is. I would reach out to brother and sister-in-law to see how they are, but you do not owe them an apology either. Your husband embarrassed and humiliated himself along with you by showing his true character with that remark, and he didn't care how many people he hurt in the process. Going by everything else you've said in your post, his gaming and refusal to pull his weight, are you sure you want to stay married to him if he doesn't change? Do you want your kids thinking this is how a marriage is? I feel awful for the sister-in-law. Being told you are a good wife because you are mute is disgusting. Not the a-hole. How the heck did he expect that comment to be received by you as anything other than insulting? Not the a-hole, your response was perfect. He managed to be disrespectful simultaneously with you, his brother and his wife. I think he will keep this kind of remark for himself next time. Not the a-hole, but if he's so pushy and doesn't help out much around the house and thinks you're loud and likes to humiliate you, what good is he bringing to your life? Seriously? Who says that about their wife? Someone they vowed to love and support. Boomer humor is dying, so he must have genuine grievances he's willing to say in public at your expense. Jerk behavior. Or he thinks having a disability is okay, to be a punchline of an unfunny joke. Also jerk behavior. I imagine you guys need counseling, and this is the tip of an ugly iceberg. I don't think you're a hole for clapping back, but you need to address this so he's a decent husband to you or get out of this unequal relationship. Life is too short, OP. You took it personally? Was there another way to take what he said? Not the a-hole, he insulted you and your sister-in-law. I wouldn't be surprised if your brother-in-law and his wife ban him from their house. I think you and your husband need some time apart. He's welcome to go to whoever the frick will let him stay with them after that. Not the a-hole. Yes, another a-hole who can dish it out but not take it. If this is where you are at in your marriage, I hope you find a resolution, therapy/separation/divorce. Because this sounds like hell.